Welcome to practice. We're going to begin laying down, and having a blanket would be very handy, folded like a little mini bolster, or a rolled up towel would work underneath your hip. Soles of the feet together and knees out wide. If your hips are ready for that in your practice. Otherwise, you could do parallel legs and feet, which is more neutral for the body, so a little easier if it's cold where you are or you're feeling a little stiff. Mm. And finding your breathing, just how you're feeling. Paying attention if there are places or a place in your body that feels like you need extra care and compassion there. Take your arms overhead and reach your arms nice and long, palms facing up. But then relax your shoulders and your neck. And feel the flow of breath from the tips of the toes to the tips of the fingers. And then gently bringing in your arms and your legs, and take the blanket out to the side and hug your knees into your chest, rocking a little from side to side, massaging at the back of the pelvis, side to side. Lower back is pressing towards the floor. Good. Take your feet now to the outside edges of your mat. Good. And we're going to gently roll the lower body. So knees go left. Let them go as far as is practical for your hips. And then using your core to lift them back up and rolling right. You can turn your head gently in the opposite direction to the way your legs are going, and keep going. So aware that when we lift the legs, we really need to use the core awareness to gather that core strength, but also taking a relaxed approach in getting the body moving in this process. So just checking in, seeing how the hips are feeling, the neck is feeling. Beautiful. And back up to center. And then we're going to take happy baby pose. So lift your feet off the floor, arms on the inside of your leg. And you're going to hold your leggings maybe, or your feet, so that you can draw your knees closer to the floor outside the chest. And really relax your lower back to the floor. Relax your belly. Good. Let's try straightening the left leg, and hopefully there's a lot of resistance there. Would be hard to walk if there wasn't. So just noticing that resistance and moving into where it's challenging with the breath, with a relaxed approach, a kind approach. Nice. And then the other side, the right leg getting straighter, exploring what feels challenging, maybe even noticing where the tension is in the body. Good. Let's do one more on each side. The left leg straight. Right leg is bent. And right leg straight. Left leg is bent. Beautiful. Put your feet back down into a neutral position. The soles of the feet on the floor, feet are hip width, legs parallel. Arms reach overhead again. Arms facing up. So I've got the arms as close to the floor as your shoulders let them go. Sometimes wiggling your shoulder blades closer to your back waist moves your hands closer to the floor. Keeping the back of the neck long and relaxing your throat. Good. And then side to side again for the legs. Taking notice of the core strength, supporting the spine here as the legs move. And you just go as far as feels good for your back or your hips. Nice, back to center. Let's bring the feet up off the floor and try going now with the feet off the floor. You'll need to use more core strength. Maybe the knees don't go all the way to the floor. Beautiful. All right, keep the feet off the floor, knees over the hips and hands interlaced or fingers interlaced behind your head, and rest your head back into your hands. But we're going to try and lift the hands, the shoulders off the floor, and you'll feel the front core of the body particularly engaged here. And we're going to let the knees go left, but lift your left shoulder blade off the floor. So you're looking wide. And then back to center. And then knees go right. Lift your right shoulder blade off the floor. And then back to center. So just take stock for a moment. So shoulders are still lifting, but relax your head, your neck more into your hand. Okay, legs left, left shoulder blade lifts, back to center. Legs right, right shoulder blade lifts, and back to center. And let's keep going. So, with compassion. No need to push here. It's more about being curious as to what is easeful, what is difficult. They don't have to be really big movements. Good, last one to the right. Beautiful. Hug the knees into the chest. Really hug the knees in so you're lengthening your lower back. Wiggle the hips from side to side a little, lengthening the muscle there. Nice work. Now we're going to turn over and be in all fours. Notice when you move what each little movement feels like. All the efficiencies that we make to move from one place to another. All forward. And forward virasana, so knees out wider. Actually, let's take the knees wider than you normally would for this pose, so that we give the hips a little bit extra stretch. So the hips are going to move towards the heels. And lengthening the arms forward, top of the head forward. And taking the hips back towards the heels as you lengthen the spine. Feeling the flow of breath from the tips of the toes to the tips of the fingers. Beautiful. Up onto all fours again. Take your hands further forward and bring the chest towards the floor. So feeling your shoulders here, keeping them as wide as you can, the collarbones as far apart as you can. The space between your shoulder blades as broad as you can. Breathing deeply. Good. And then lifting up into all fours. And we'll take downward facing dog pose. Feel the flow of your breath as you start to explore, moving the chest towards the front of the leg. Feeling how the shoulders are. Feeling the flow of breath as you explore, pressing your heels down. Noticing where the body resists, where is that feeling of tightness or restriction. Feel the flow of breath. And let yourself lengthen. Relax your neck. Strongly press your fingerprints and the base of the index fingers. Nice work. We're going to bring the left knee to the left wrist so that you're in a preparation for pigeon pose. Slide your right foot back as far as it'll go. If you keep your toes tucked under while you do that, you get a nice toe stretch. Good, but then we're going to relax the toes and just front of the right foot on the floor. Now, I've got my left heel under the left sit bone, which is more comfortable for the knee. If you are able to bring your left foot closer towards the front of your mat, then you can try that. But don't hurt your knee. Good. And we try to sink the hips as close to the floor as we can. Now, sometimes if your hips are high from the floor, taking a support, if I make a little high blanket underneath the sit bone, can feel really much more comforting, supportive. All right, we're on the flat hand, and then we're going to lift up onto the tops of the fingers and wrap your fingers as though they're squeezing tennis balls. Draw the shoulder blades back, lift the breastbone, press your back foot and squeeze the kneecap up away from the floor. squeeze the buttock muscles towards center. And lengthening your belly, lengthening your breastbone. We're going to start to walk those strong hands and fingers forward. So keep up on the tops of your fingers, walk them forward as far as you can. And then you can lower them down or flatten your palms to the floor. And even reach your torso out as far as you can, but try to keep your torso level to the floor. We tend to roll to the side. So keeping an evenness there, keep the right buttock muscles active, squeezing towards center. Yes. And then we're going to walk our fingertips back. Squeeze your hands around imaginary tennis balls, walking them back. Nice strong fingers. Beautiful. Lifting belly, lifting breastbone, draw the shoulder blades back and looking up. We're going to place the hands flat now. Tuck the toes under of your right foot and we'll step back to downward facing dog pose. Follow the flow of your breath. As your body moves and as you find your downward facing dog pose. Finding the heels pressing down, the sit bones lifting high, the armpits lengthening and your head just hanging down so the neck relaxes. Beautiful. And then we're going to step the right knee to the right wrist. Slide your left leg back. Give your toes a nice big stretch on your left foot. And then release the foot so you're just resting on the top of the left foot. Okay, checking out your right knee. So might be feeling okay there with the heel, the right heel under the right sit bone. But if not, don't hurt your knees. So this posture is not for you. If, however, you can take more stretch, you bring your right foot further forward towards the front of the mat. Good. And then see how close your hips are to the floor. You might like that blanket under the right hip bone and find that useful. All right. Otherwise, we wiggle the as close to the floor as you can. We're going to be on the flat of the hands to start with. Lifting the belly, lifting the breastbone, finding the breath, the flow of breath. Good, and then lift up, right up onto the tips of every finger, as though they're wrapped around the floor. Make a little bit more of a back bend. Squeeze the left gluteus muscle towards center, lift the left kneecap away from the floor, press the top of the left foot. Beautiful. And then we're going to walk those strong fingers forward, lengthening the belly, lengthening the breastbone. Keep walking your hands forward as far as is practical for your body. When you get as far as you can flatten your palms, lengthening belly, lengthening the front of the chest. And we try to keep the torso level to the floor. Breathing deeply. Feeling the flow of the breath. Beautiful. Fingers up onto the fingerprints and walk the hands back. Finger bones, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of a reminder. Stay strong. Stay strong. Okay, walking back in. Be on the flat of your hands now. Lifting the breastbone. Beautiful. And we're going to tuck the toes under of the left foot, that's the back foot, and step your right leg back into downward facing dog pose. Find the flow of your breath as your body finds this familiar position. The hands shoulder width apart. Fingers straight and strong and stretching apart from each other. Shoulders wide and head just hanging down. Heels pressing down, kneecaps lifting, sit bones lifting. Spine lengthening. And feeling the breath from the tips of the toes to the tips of the fingers. Beautiful. Bring your knees to the floor and rest your arms now in child's pose. Whatever makes sense for you in child's pose. So the shoulders are wide, the hands are relaxed, the lower back is broad. Bring the hands onto the floor, just in front of your knees. And we're going to bring the knees together at least, or so your femur bones are parallel, and tuck your toes under. And let's practice just lifting the knees up and down the floor. So we give the toes a nice stretch. Your hands are flat down on the floor. If you have that capability to roll, to lift the knees right up and be in a squat position, you can make the movement bigger than just lifting the knees up and down. So you can roll back to getting your heel onto the floor. And then standing up, you might be able to just feel that you could stand up from there, or helping yourself to come up to standing, appreciating all the movements that you are capable of to do that. We are miraculous. Coming into Tadasana. At the front of your mat, we're going to bring the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, and hold them. We're going to look forward, relax neck as you draw the shoulder blades down. Lengthening the belly, lifting the rib cage, pressing down through the heels and relaxing your neck. Good. And then Uttanasana. We're going to keep the bones of the spine pressing forward and find a position for your forward bend where you're not hunching any part of your back up to the ceiling. So you want to feel your legs stretch without stressing your back. Knees, ah. Beautiful. Keep reaching the top of the head further and further forward, or further and further down towards the floor, whichever tape may be. Straightening your legs a little bit more, lifting the back of the legs nice and long. And then let's sway the torso from side to side. We get into that familiar symmetrical position with the forward bend, but see how the back feels with this movement. So you might notice that one leg can bend a little and the other straighten as you feel the flow of your breath. Try to really keep that feeling that all the bones of the spine are pressing forward, are dense. You start to get a little sway, a little movement in your back, feeling those stabilizing back core muscles. Oh, beautiful. Come to center. You might have gained a little ground here in your forward bend. and without that being at the expense of your back. Good. And then we'll bend the knees and roll up. Let's hold the arms up in Urdhva Hastasana. Ooh, palms facing. Feel the breath from the toe tips to the fingertips, through the length of your body, reaching. Beautiful. We're going to bring the hands into Namaste in front of your heart. The palms together, hands in front of the heart. Bring your left knee up in front. So we're balanced on the right foot. Nice work. Let's take the left knee out to the left side and then behind. Lean the torso forward. You're bending at the right hip crease. Good. Now, in that forward leaning position, we're going to lift the left hip. So the back leg is just bent. Your standing leg could be a little bit bent. We're going to lift the left hip back to center. Drop the left hip so you're looking to the right side. Come back to center, hip level to the floor. Swing gently the left knee forward, lift it up high again. And that's one circle. Before you place your foot down, find where you're going to put the foot and then transfer your weight. Breathing deeply. Beautiful. All right. If you really were struggling with your balance, you could have the back of a chair in front of you or hold onto a wall or a pole. If you have these things in your space, beautiful. Arms up, hands in front of the heart, feeling the breath. That gathered strength of the core body. Standing onto the left leg, lift the right leg up in front. Take your right knee out to the right side and all the way around behind you. So you're leaning your torso forward. We've got a slight bend on the left hip crease. Beautiful. All right, then we're going to lift the right hip. So you're going to look to the right. Bring the hips back, level to the floor. And then drop the right hip. You're looking to the left. Good. Come back to center. So center your hips level to the floor. Swing gently the right knee forward. Lift the knee high. And before you place the foot back down, find your footing. And then transfer your weight. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Take the arms up for a few breaths here. Really reach, feeling the flow of breath from the tips of the toes to the tips of the fingers, through the whole body. Lower back is lengthened as we lift the front of the thighs here. Palms together in front of your heart. We're going to step the left foot back now. Not all the way to the back of the mat, but we're trying to find that controlled landing again. So find the floor with your toes and then peel your heel down onto the floor. So when you lift back up, we've got straight legs. We're trying to have parallel feet again and parallel legs, but press the back heel to the floor. Beautiful. Now we're going to try that forward bend without hunching the spine, any part of the spine behind. So we're going to bring the bones of the spine forward and we're going to lean out and over the front leg until you find the big resistance in that front leg. And feel the breath in your body. Feel the lift of your kneecaps, that gathering of strength in your leg, in the core of the body, holding your hips level to the floor. Feel the belly lifting, feel the hands pressing at the heart, pressing together in front of the heart. Lengthening the front leg as you keep reaching the torso forward, a little bit further forward. All right, and then we're going to sway a little the torso from side to side. Holding your good balance. Find yourself centered again. And then we're going to bend the front leg so you can step your left foot forward. And we're going to take that balance sequence again. So you're standing on your right foot, bring the left knee in front and lift it up. Great. Left knee out to the left side. Behind you. You're tipping forward at the right hip, tipping the torso forward. The left foot lifts up behind you nice and high. Beautiful. Try and lift your left hip a little. Looking left. Drop the left hip, looking right. Center your hips, level to the floor. Left foot in front. Lifts up nice and high. And find your footing. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Breathing from the tiptoes, the soles of the feet to the palms of the hands, the fingers, whole body. Reaching. Hands in Namaste in front of your heart. Press them, draw the shoulder blades down. Step the right foot back, maybe halfway along the mat. So that we land with the feet about hip width distance apart, parallel. Press the back heel, strong, straight legs. Press the bones of the spine forward, almost making a back bend here. And then reach the torso forward. Finding the resistance in your front leg. Press the back heel. Really finding your balance here. Strong legs. Easeful spine, because we have that awareness to keep the spine pressing forward, embedded in the muscle. All right, now let's get a little bit more stretch in the front leg by swaying the torso gently from side to side, waking up those little micro movements. Good, finding center. And then we're going to stand up, step forward, knee in front, right knee in front, right knee out to the right side, right knee behind, lift the foot nice and high as you lean the torso forward, lift the right hip, drop the right hip. Good, center your hip, level to the floor, and lifting up, right knee in front. And Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Really reaching, lengthening the front of the body, lengthening the back of the body. And release your hands. And we're going to take a seat now. Practice your paying attention to how you move. You might be using your hands to help you sit down. You might be able to sit without using your hands. We're going to take both legs down in front. Left knee bends in, Janushisasana. Let's swim the left arm And we're going to warm up the movement of reaching the left fingertips to the little toe side of the right. Take a few nice big stretches and reaches in that direction. And on the next one that you do, take hold of your leg or your foot, wherever you might reach to. But let's see, did the spine pop out behind you? So pull your hands back until you know you've got the bones of the spine pressing forward. Beautiful. If your restriction is really most evident in your leg, your right leg, try pointing your toes away from you. If that's not really an impediment to you moving, then you can point them back towards your face or your body. Let's see where the restriction is by swaying a little bit your torso inside. Take that nice and gently. Pressing the bones of the spine forward. All right, and then we're going to head the center front of your torso over the center front of your right leg. Breathing deeply. Hold as far as you can now without making your upper back a hunchback shape. Good, and then releasing that side. Both legs out in front. Right leg, Janushitasana. And let's swim the right arm. And we're swimming towards the little toe side of the foot. Just enjoying each part of that movement, the lifting of the torso, the reaching of the ribs and the arms. Good. On your next big reach forward, you're going to take hold wherever you can reach to. But then check out that reach. Did it turn your back into a hunchback shape? See if you can just slide your hands back, even if it's all the way to sitting up, but really press the bones of the spine forward. And let's just test out where the restriction is by making little movements, little swaying movements of the torso from side to side. Maybe what you get there is a little bit more forward movement without straining at the spine. And then taking hold, we're trying to reach center front of the front torso, over center front of the left leg. Finding your breath. Strong, straight leg. So if you're really hampered by hamstring in the left leg, you can try pointing your toes away from you, see if that do a little movement. Otherwise, finding your breath. And then releasing. We're going to just sit in simple cross-legged position. Sukhasana. Palms facing up. Finding your breath. Through the feet, legs, pelvis and the torso, arms and hands, neck and head. Bring your hands in front of your heart. And take the feeling of the practice. Namaste.